We're talking about the third level in Oiros. And that is the Oiros hamislapshim b'kelim. The Oiros as they are imbued in kelim. So we started this union, and we have a lot of challenges in understanding this principle, because from our own experience, our own observation, we seem to have a totally different perception of what actually happens. In simple terms, Oir B'Keili means the neshama as it is imbued in the guf. For example, of course there are other elements in this, but on the simplest level, the neshama is imbued in the guf. The guf is able to function and do things only due to the fact that there is a neshama in it. And what we are learning is that this relationship, the neshama and the guf, and there is actions that the guf does, which can only be performed by the guf, appears to us to be exclusively a guf function. Like walking is a guf function, consisting in moving, placing one foot in front of the other, and then pushing oneself from one foot, from one location to the other location. Where is the neshama element? The fact that the guf is alive and is able to move its legs, this is yes, it is a neshama, but this is the neshama at the level of the guf, not at the level of neshama. Moving the foot back and forth is not a neshama aspect per se. Let me explain what I mean. Surely, the fact that the guf doesn't rot, there's a neshama, it's a living thing. But this is life at the guf level. This is not neshama, oir mislabish in keli. Oir is a completely different thing. Oir is a principle. The guf does not know, from this vantage point, the principle of walking. It only obeys what the seichel tells it. Move your foot, so it moves the foot. This is no different in training your dog to do whatever it's doing. It's not really aware. It's not really absorbed by the oil. There's no oil involved. It's alive at the level of the guf. Like we said many times, that all creatures, we all know that there are multiple creatures that are alive. So we always explain that life is, they represent a living body. The human being is not a living body. Living being is life in a body. The principle of the human being is life. What it stands for, the significance of it. And this is what we are going to try and really identify and understand. Oir hamislabish b'keili. Oir is an intangible aspect. Oir is not the physical beam that activates the molecules in the blood and so forth. Oir is entirely a neshama concept. I have to go from here to here. Why? Because I have a mitzvah to do. Unrelated to guf experience, totally. So we'll have to, based on the conversation we had yesterday, we'll have to discuss this, every inch of the way. Let's first perceive the following. moving from place to place. It is physically understandable from the good perspective. Like you say, you're standing here, move away from here because I have to go here. Or something else has to be put here. That can be explained on the goof level, and can be explained, so to speak, by the dog level. Push it away and he jumps away from this place. It comes to mind the halacha Ayin. I want to get this really, at least to understand what this is about. What came to mind as I was thinking about, that's one way to alert us to a concept. If a person is a Makadesh woman, Kiddushin means he gives her a ring and gives her a penny, and it says Hariyat Mekudeshesli. You all know what that means. But here we're talking about a special case. He says to her, "You're Mekudesh to me in 30 days around. Not now. 30 days around, the Kiddushin should be chal. Should be validated. If I don't change my mind within these 30 days, or you don't change your mind within these 30 days, then the Kiddushin is chal." So the Gemara asks this question like this: Mahi bo'ishin hayom. What is her status during these 30 days? Is she mekudesh or she's not mekudesh? At the end of the 30 days, he does not give a kiddushin again. Does not say anything. You're mekudesh to me on the basis of the money that I gave her 30 days ago. It becomes automatically validated, effective. What was her condition during these 30 days? Was there anything there, or was nothing there? If there was nothing there, how did it all of a sudden materialize to become Kiddush? Just want to clarify this question, because one may think this is like making Kiddushin on a condition. Making Kiddushin on a condition, and this is not the same story at all. A condition is a peripheral aspect. Yom HaKudosh Mir Al-Manas, on the condition that it will rain tomorrow. It has nothing to do with the Kiddushin. This is not part of the act of Kiddushin. A condition. This is actually a process of Kiddushin itself. This Kiddushin is an act that will be Mekadesh in 30 days. It's not a condition that holds it back. It's actually condition. The act of Kiddushin is 30 days. It takes 30 days to be effective. What is the situation during this time? If it is nothing there, so how does it all of a sudden materialize and wake up? This is a phenomenal thing. We say no, she's not Mekudesh during these 30 days. After 30 days, automatically it sets in. Because there was the Kiddushin present at that time during this whole 30 days. What was present? What was present? Can you explain this on the goof level? On the act level? The answer is, it's a Torah concept, but we have to, the means by which we can approach it within the parameters of our world is Kiddushin is not just a physical act. Kiddushin is a neshama element, commitment. You cannot be mekadosh a woman, a shoita. A shoita means does not understand what kiddushin is, or a child prior to a certain maturity level. She does not understand what this is. This is a neshama union. It's not a physical union. There's a principle of slavery. Slavery means that a person owns another person as a slave. You can own a baby as a slave. Doesn't have to know and participate in this ownership. You own his whole mitzias. Kiddushin cannot happen like this. Kiddushin has to be by personal participation and consent. And if it's a young child who does not understand what Kiddushin is, it cannot be valid. It cannot occur. So this is a neshama element. So what happens over here? And it's occurring in our physical world. This is exactly what you point out. There's an oyer. There's a concept based on truth, not on physical experience. Kiddushin, I said there's a neshama. Kiddushin is a godly element. It is God who requires that you should be mekadosh a woman before you marry her. Not the goof, and not the woman, nothing with any physical experience. If you want that your marriage should carry the principles of Kedas Moshe Yisrael, a holy marriage, then you have to go through these steps. And ultimately, it is the godly participation that makes it happen. An interesting thing. You mekadosh a woman, you give her $1 million. There are no witnesses that are present at the time when you give her the kiddushin. It's not a valid kiddushin. She is not denying it. He is not denying it. They both consent and say, yeah, it happened. It's not a kiddushin. A kiddushin has to occur within the parameters of the scope, the world scope. And if it doesn't have that, it's not kiddushin. It's an act between two people. It is when the two people recognize their participation in a bigger reality. And his Makadisha, then there's a validation. There's something else. So here we have a Ruch Nisikinian, totally a Ruch Nisikinian, occurring on the physical level. Not only occurring on the physical level at the time when he gives it the Kiddushin, but he said he should become valid 30 days hence. And this Ruch Nisikinian holds off from taking hold in the physical world. It is in the physical because it's carried over, but somehow it doesn't take hold. This is what's called Oyer HaMislabish B'Keli. The same is true when it comes simply the Ayin, the koiches ha-nefesh and mislabish in the guf. Koiches ha-nefesh and mislabish in the guf, lahavdil in a human being and in the dog. The dog can also be pushed off and it runs from here to there. Is it exactly the same thing as when a person walks from place to place, or is there some kind of a difference there? So here's the point which I want to maybe should understand. Within the worldly context, to move from this place off is a truth in the world. To settle down in this place is a truth in the world. The transmission from this place, during this period, that it's not here and not there, nothing is happening in the world. There is no worldly presence. Like I said, the 30 days between the Kiddushin and the validation, there's nothing there. The dog runs. We kick him up from here. He knows he has to get away from here. Then he runs, and he's no place. But he settles down. A human being is never in no place. He is not just moving away from this place and this place. He is constantly in the process, in a mental process, in the reality. This reality cannot be explained in physical terms. It's in the neshama reality. Like I said many times, hundreds of Masholim, a home is not a place to sleep. A home is a place of reality. No other creature in the world knows what that means, except a human being. And a human being himself is only when he's in full maturity. It actually relates and reveals an expression of the deepest intellectual experience of the human being. Life in the world is real to him. And this is why he can be Mekadosh a woman. He gives her a penny, and she becomes his wife. What happens over here? This is Slapshus Oiris Bekevi. The physical presence of this human being. Yes, it's physical. And he's alive physically. And you need to be healthy. And he has to have healthy blood and healthy food and everything else. That's not what we're referring to, human life. This is maintenance. This is creating the keli. This is creating the keli, which is the body, that it should be a receptacle for the life of the neshama. But the neshama, this is the oir. This is of a supreme quality. It's not going to be explained within the physical world whatsoever. Like I said many times. And certain things which I think everybody can recognize. To sleep in your own home or to sleep in the most comfortable bed in a hotel. Who can appreciate the difference? The body? Who discerns the difference? the intellect. The body rests very well in a comfortable bed. But it doesn't have a full intellect, a full human rest. A human being, when he goes to sleep, he doesn't just fall asleep. He says, "B'yod cho'avkidrucha," and trust my spirit to you. That's how he goes to sleep. There's an intellectual process involved. This kind of slapshus oiris b'kelim is really a phenomenal thing. It is really the oir hanesham, the oir of the intellect that has been so fully identified as a result of tzimtzumim and so forth, that it can be mislabish in a keli. And this is slapshus, as Rabbi is saying, is a totally slapshus. The oir relates to the keli, and the keli absorbs the oir. Again, we're not talking about the life element in the body. We're talking about the sensitivity in the body that something is happening of a higher, of a different caliber. I pointed out many times. The dog can carry this from place to place. How will the human being carry this from place to place? Is it identical or is it different? I'm talking about during the carrying, not by picking it up and placing it. Picking up and placing, the dog also can understand what that means. But what happens between in the interim? The interim, this is the 30 days between the two moments. Only the intellect is aware and can relate to it. Human being is carrying something, and there's a difference whether this is a fragile thing, a difference what its value is. His hand carries it differently. If it is a piece of crystal, or it's a handkerchief.
Or a baby.
Or a baby l'havlo. This is the meaning in slapshus oil bekli. It is really a phenomenal union. The oil should be redefined, reinterpreted multiple times until it becomes defined at a level that it can be presented to a keli. And the keli is imbued with the significance of this oil. All right. So I don't know what's going to be here today, but so listen. Have things been cleared up from yesterday's debate we had?
Yeah.